Testing 1, 2, 3, y'all. There we go. Wow, yeah, okay. Hey people, how you doing? My name is Tim Black. Welcome to the Tim Black Show. Glad you could tune in. There we go. We got some volume going on here. We're looking good on YouTube, guys. YouTube people, Periscope people, Facebook people, glad you can make it. Let me make sure my people on Facebook are actually watching, though. Let me go check real quick. What up, Facebook people? How y'all doing? What's up, Karen and Jennifer and Margarita and Julie and Jason and Uli and Rashid and Ralph and Henry? I'm seeing some love coming through. Linda, how you doing? Eli, what's up? All right. Amy Fisher. Michael. Renee. Good. We're good. Because I'm getting love. I'm getting hearts and stuff. I can't see the video for whatever reason. I don't know what is up with Facebook. It's not moving. It's just a still image. But I think it's moving on your end, so that's all that matters. I know what I look like. So anyway, guys. All right, guys, check this out. I was going to come on a little bit later because it's going to be a long night. First of all, guys, everybody needs to chill out a little bit. I know it's nerve-wracking. I understand. It's nerve-wracking. It is. They want this drama, the build-up, the tension, the battle royale. They want this. How else would they get people to watch their shows? They want us to be on pins and needles. They want us to be, glued to the TV, glued to cable media, glued to the news, glued to Chuck Todd. Everybody just rolling out little bits, a little bit of, look, some people, remember, there's the East Coast, and there's the West Coast, there's the South, there's the Midwest, there's all that good stuff. So we need to just keep calm. We need to calm down, recognize that this is going to be a long night. It's going to take a while. It ain't going to be instant, okay? So what I have for you is a reality check because they're not trying to give us one. They're not trying to give us a reality check out there. What they want is just confusion. They don't want to tell you the simple basic truth that is this. There are places that everyone expected Joe Biden to win, and there are places that we expect Bernie Sanders to win. A lot of the places where Joe Biden is expected, always was expected to win, happened to go first. It happened to be first, Johnson. Yeah. They've always expected Joe Biden would do well in the South. For some reason, Southerners just prefer Joe Biden. They prefer his ways, his style, his vernacular, his forgetfulness, his bad trade deals, his war vote, and most of all, the fact he was Obama's backup dancer. For some reason, this has a lot of weight in the South. And hey, people vote for various reasons. What I want to do is run down a few of the states that we pretty much know now. We did this last night, but a lot of people weren't here, so I just want you to know. There's a couple places we're really looking at. We're watching very closely. Those places are not North Carolina and Virginia, okay? I know it's a big deal. Oh, but Joe Biden did very well in Virginia. He did very well in North Carolina. Yeah, well, North Carolina is right next door to South Carolina. We pretty much figured that. Kind of figured that. Virginia is always, Hillary won Virginia. Virginia, like we talked about it last night, there's parts of Virginia that are a little bit more progressive, but it's right there on the borderline of being conservative. Conservatively moderate type of location. So a lot of the stuff that they're pointing out to you, they're not saying it, but they never thought anything different. And that's before the Buttigieg and the Klobuchar and the Beto O'Rourke endorsements. That's before that. We already expected Biden to carry these places. But they got you sitting at home going, oh no, this can't be happening. This is no. Oh God, no. Yeah, and I'm telling you, I feel like it's all part of the drama that they want tonight to have. This is the playoffs. Right? This is the playoffs for political coverage. They want it to be an event worth watching. Okay? They don't want you to know that, well, Bernie's expected to win Maine and Massachusetts and Minnesota. And Colorado and California. Yeah, they don't want you to know that. They don't want you to know that. Yeah, and that most of the delegates are in two places. So you can basically mentally check out and check back in to find out what happened with Texas and California because, here we go, because this handy-dandy guide. Here are the places we gonna be watching the most. Here are the places I'm watching the most for Bernie Sanders. California, Texas, Massachusetts, and Minnesota. These are the locations that matter the most if you are a Bernie Sanders supporter, guys. They're not telling you. I'm telling you. Maybe they are telling you. I don't know. I kind of tuned out of the corporate media landscape, because they weren't, they were just focusing on these redundant conversations about Virginia. Redundant conversations about, Arkansas, Alabama. Yeah, okay, sure, Johnson, sure. So here we go, guys. Here we go, Tim Black's Wolfpack. Johnson, let's see what we have. Okay, so Super Tuesday, a lot of delegates up for stake. We already know that. A lot of delegates on the table. Very important day. I'm not minimizing the importance of today. Today is very important. But what I'm saying is not every state is like do or die. Not every state is going to change the trajectory of this race. I'm going to make a prediction. I'm going to stick with it. My prediction is after the smoke settles, after the dust settles, after everything's cleared out, once they pack up the equipment, and everyone's left the auditorium, Bernie Sanders will be in the lead. He will still be the front runner. He will be the front runner. He will have the most delegates and will have won the most states. I repeat, after all of the hoopla, after all of the drama, I predict Bernie Sanders will have won the majority of states and the majority of delegates. Will it be as easy as I thought it would? Well, not easy, because I never thought it would be easy. So will it be with more friction than I thought originally? Yes. Yes, it will. Because everyone threw in behind Biden. Hence why I sent out a tweet saying, hey, it'd be really good if Tulsi Gabbard, Elizabeth Warren, and Andrew Yang endorsed Bernie, but they wouldn't do that. No, they wouldn't do that. And maybe it's because Bernie hasn't offered them anything. I don't know. But I can say that out loud, can't I? That I thought it would be great if that could happen. Obviously, Andrew Yang has his sights set on being a CNN reporter, a correspondent for CNN, similar to Andrew Gillum out there in Florida. So, who knew? I thought the guy wanted to change the world. I didn't know he wanted my job just on a bigger network. I didn't know that. Who knew? Who knew he'd throw in behind Joe Biden, who did the opposite of what his vision was? He's the guy behind the bad trade deals, the guy behind the Iraq War. I thought, forget it. I ain't going to bore you with that. The bottom line is that when it's all said and done, what do we have? We have California, we have Colorado, we have Maine, we have Massachusetts, and we have Minnesota. Part of the reason why Amy Klobuchar got out of this race is that Bernie's going to win Minnesota. And that doesn't look good for Amy. And I would love, since Elizabeth Warren will not get out, I would love, and this is what I really feel strongly that Bernie will take Massachusetts, because who is vastly underperforming? Elizabeth Warren. She's performing very badly. I wonder if there's somebody in Massachusetts who might want to run against her, because this doesn't look good. When we don't even think she will carry her own state. It's possible she will come in third in her own state. It's possible. It's possible. That's horrific. To come in third in your own state is like to be a runner-up in a dating contest with your spouse. That's how bad that is. But they won't say it that bad. They won't say it as devastating as it is. They won't say it. For whatever reason, they're not saying it. Instead, they want you to be surprised and devastated, distraught that Joe Biden took, God, what did he take? Virginia. Oh, God, oh, no. Mason-Dixon line, Virginia. Okay. Have you been to Virginia? There are a lot of rural areas of Virginia, is all I'm trying to tell you. Okay? They just took down the Confederate flag in a lot of parts of Virginia. Okay? Okay, so slow down, Sparky. Let's slow down, Sparky. Let's keep everything in perspective, because they're going to demoralize you if you allow them to. They will destroy you. They will dampen your enthusiasm. They will do all. You cannot allow them to do it. Just know that's what they want to do. That's their intention. And once you understand the intention of them is to, once again, minimize Bernie Sanders as much as possible. See, here's the deal. This is what they want. They're just moving the goalposts. No one expects Joe Biden to come out of this thing with more delegates than anyone else. No one expects him to come out the front runner. What they want to do is lower the expectation. Like, God, that was closer than it should have been. Bernie should have ran away with it. He should have just ran off. Bernie hasn't proven that he can get everyone to vote for him in the country. Oh, my God, Bernie's disappointment is he'll still be in the lead, and they'll still make it a negative to win. like they did in Nevada. Somehow Bernie went in Nevada was bad. They made it bad for Bernie to campaign in Minnesota and Massachusetts. No one said that about Biden. They actually called Bernie sexist for campaigning in the states that Amy Klobuchar and Elizabeth Warren reside in, or are senators from. They didn't do that to anyone else. So once you know these things are going on, once you realize it, you got to expect them to do this, what they're doing. This is par for the course. They want you to feel bad today. They want you to be dispirited. They want you to throw in with the establishment. I can't do it. I'm anti-establishment unless the establishment becomes the people's establishment, the establishment of the people, and then it would no longer be the establishment. It would be the people's government. It would be the people's party. Get it? And they don't want that, because then they got to share power with people like Tim Black. They don't want to share power with Tim Black. All right. California with 415 delegates. Texas with 228. Why do you think? See, Joe Biden, I will hand it to the establishment. They were very strategic in carting out these establishment candidates to support Joe Biden. We got Beto O'Rourke. We haven't heard from Beto O'Rourke in 2 months. When we do hear from him, what does he do? He pops his head up and throws it behind a guy he said he'd never support. That's right, Joe Biden, because he's got to save the republic. North Carolina, 110 delegates. That's Joe Biden took North Carolina and Virginia, it looks like. 99 delegates. But don't forget Massachusetts with 91. There's also Colorado. There's also Maine and Vermont, obviously he took that. Now, there are a lot more delegates out of Virginia than there are out of Vermont, even though they both start with V. Johnson. But we expect Bernie to do very well in California. Remember, California and Texas, most delegates. And Elizabeth Warren may not even qualify to get any delegates. I don't know. It wasn't looking good last time I checked. Maybe things have changed a little. But last time I checked before going to air, Elizabeth Warren didn't look viable anywhere that I saw. I hope that she's viable, at least in her own state. How can you be a kingmaker if you can't even deliver your own state? It's not good, Johnson. It's not good. I want to know, how can you be a kingmaker if you can't deliver your own state? Here goes Marianne Williamson for a little bit of levity. I think we need it. Here goes Marianne Williamson talking about why she endorsed Bernie Sanders. There is humanity. Humanity lives, Johnson.
I believe that of the candidates who are left, I mean, remember I ran, so everybody who runs thinks that they're the one who can do the best job. Of those who are left, absolutely. Well, I must say, I am a fan of Elizabeth Warren as well. But because I am a progressive, because I believe we need more than a fundamental approach to the course correction. Let's remember what's at stake here. We have 1% of Americans who control more wealth than the bottom 90%. We have 40% of Americans who could not afford to cover a $1,000 unexpected expenditure. We have 93 million Americans who are living near poverty. We have tens of millions of Americans who have no idea what would happen if they got sick. They have no idea what would happen if their kids got sick. They have no idea how they're going to send their kids to college.
Yeah.
And tens of millions who have no idea how they're going to get out of these college loans. There is so much rage behind all this. There is so much despair behind all this. We need to convert that despair into positive political action. And the person who has proven through those rallies, through the unbelievable coalition of Americans, young and old and black and white and brown and gay and straight, the whole thing, that's Bernie Sanders in this election. This whole propaganda about his being an extremist, that's all that it is. What's extremism about saying, let's everybody have health care, let's everybody have access to college. In other countries and other advanced democracies, that would be defined as moderate.
Yeah, I think a lot of the extremism may be attached to how these things get paid for, because promising them the campaign trail is one thing, but paying for them might be another. But when we look into what might happen, play out, because just a couple weeks ago, Sanders was asked on stage what would happen if no candidate reached the threshold to become the nominee, and what might happen when we look at the convention. So, I mean, if this is kind of the pressure that you're seeing right now in terms of moderates and the DNC, potentially, as you're saying, working together to kind of unseat Bernie, if that's going to be the case and no one reaches that threshold, what do you see in your eyes playing out?
Well, Milwaukee could become quite a drama, and we should all hold it with a lot of love and wisdom.
That's right. A lot of love and a lot of wisdom there. Marianne Williamson, a true progressive, a fighter for the people, and a remarkable human being. And we love her. She's a friend of the show as well. Marianne Williamson is correct. Bernie is the one carrying the torch for the working people. And we shouldn't get discouraged because things are looking good in Massachusetts, Maine, Minnesota, Texas, and California. Possibly some other states too. We need to keep that in mind. It's not just all about Virginia and what is it? Virginia and North Carolina. There's other states that we're doing well in. The Michael Bloomberg effect is something that I'm watching. I don't see him viable in any state so far. And it would be a shame that the guy could spend as much money as him and not pick up any delegates. But it could happen, Johnson. It could happen. And I heard earlier that he may be considering dropping out himself. He will do an assessment after tonight to find out if it makes sense for him to continue to throw money after good money after bad money, or bad money after bad money in his case. So these things, it's all up in the air, guys. It's all up in the air. But this is where we are, and people need to just be prepared for a long ride tonight. This is going to be a long ride. It's going to be a seesaw effect. If you cannot handle it, it's possible it'd be better for you not to stay not to stay engaged. To come back later when it's kind of sifted through, because it's going to be a while. I mean, it's 9:14 on the East Coast. It's going to be a while before we know anything about California. It's going to be a while. Okay, so, and I think people just need to be braced and suited and booted and just be prepared to wait it out. But just know that they're going to focus on the negative. They're going to focus on what Bernie didn't do. No matter how great he does, they're going to focus on what's not being done. Like they focus on, the black vote in certain southern states, but not black votes in northern states like where I'm at in Maryland. More northern. They're not going to focus on that because the narrative changes once you do. They're not focusing at all on Latino voters, even though they carry a larger swath of the electorate, and Bernie's doing better than them than Biden. So they're not going to focus on the upsides, the things that will make you feel positive. They're not going to focus on that stuff. They're going to focus on the negative. And there are certain counties in certain states that are going to be more conservative or more moderate. And there'll be others that are more liberal or even, dare I say, progressive. So it's all about where you look. And that's clear that this is not going to be a blowout. Joe Biden is the former vice president of the United States. It was always going to come down to this. Always going to come down to Bernie and Biden. What's bad is that we have Elizabeth Warren still hanging in, taking votes that possibly could go to Bernie. But we are going to keep an eye on what Buttigieg's voters are going to do. Some of them might go to Elizabeth Warren. My understanding is that there's some Buttigieg people who also liked Elizabeth. So we'll see what happens with that. We'll see what happens with that, guys. I don't know why that's not loading. Bushy bro, exactly. People putting standards on Bernie, but no one else. These are hypocrites. You're right. There's a lot of standards being put on Bernie. It's a lot of standards. I've seen people do it throughout they get it from somewhere. Bernie's not good enough with black voters. Okay. Bernie's not offering enough for black voters. Biden is? What's he offering? Oh, that's right, nothing. Not legalizing cannabis. Dude, legalizing cannabis, expunging records, and opening the door for more black folks to start businesses in that field if they want to. That's huge. Like, that should be it. To me, that should just shut it down because there's nothing Biden is offering is better than that for the black community or the Latino community. And still, they're not even focused on that. They're like, well, if we don't get this, we don't even want to hear about that. So they'll take a Joe Biden. Someone's going to win. They'd rather it be Joe Biden without legalizing cannabis than Bernie with legalizing cannabis because they have a pole stuck up their ass. I don't understand it at all, but this is what and I think a lot of them are being paid to be that obtuse. Because you can't be that ignorant. Oh, well, we're going to expunge records when we know we have a bias as hell, racist criminal justice system. No one doubts that's on the left or the far left. None of us doubt that. And instead of saying, yeah, let's expunge records, they're going, well, if I can't get this, I don't care that you can expunge records. I don't care that you want to legalize weed. Biden's dead set against it. He's still talking about the wacky weed makes you do wacky things. It'll make you, trick for heroin next week. He's still on that. If you smoke marijuana, you're going to go and you're going to, sell your soul to for opium. He's still on that stuff. And they're like, there's no difference between them because there's obviously no difference between them. So, as you can tell, it infuriates me that people talk that way as if it's all or nothing, when we live in a country that's jacked up and just backwards. When we are under fire, under attack so much by the establishment, that you would see these two totally different politicians with vastly different politics and vastly different records and vastly different platforms, that you would see them the same because they share the same skin tone. Like you see them, they're not the same, Johnson. They are just not the same. So we're going to see, hopefully, more people agree with me than they agree with those people who are on some other stuff. They're on some other stuff, Johnson. So don't get discouraged because Bernie is looking well in Maine. He's looking well in Massachusetts. He's looking well in Minnesota. He's looking well in California. He's looking well in Colorado. And we expect him to do well both in all those places. And yes, there's some places we expect Joe Biden to do well in. No one came into this thing thinking Joe Biden would not win North Carolina. Everyone knew it. And still they go, North Carolina, North Carolina, North Carolina. We all knew that. We knew it. Virginia, I'm pretty sure he'd do well in Virginia as well. It's not surprising. Bernie's not going to run the table and win every state. He's going to win more states than he did against Hillary, though, even with Elizabeth Warren in this race. Hence, he's going to win the nomination. I know it in my bones, Bernie's going to win this nomination. It's going to be a fight, though. They're going to throw everything at him. They already threw everything at him. Everybody came out for Joe Biden. You think that was an accident that they all came out the night before for Joe Biden? Maybe it would have had an effect if he could have got them to come out 2 weeks ago when some people were early voting. So even the establishment makes mistakes. You get what I'm saying? Even the establishment makes mistakes. Some people voted for Amy Klobuchar or Pete Buttigieg, right? Who votes go nowhere now. They're going to the... Okay? Which potentially could have helped Joe Biden. Potentially. I don't know where the voters are where they would have went instead. But some people are really pissed off. You're going to drop out. Why you drop out earlier so I could have used my vote with somebody who was remaining in the contest, whose campaign wasn't suspended? So when people say everything's rigged and everything's against Bernie, this is not a good plan. If everything's rigged, this was a bad plan for them to come out the day before Super Tuesday and have people waste their votes on candidates who are no longer competing. A truly rigged, strategically rigged in every sense of the word. I'm not saying they're on some backroom deals. I know there's some there's definitely, obviously, yes, there's some backroom deals. But what I'm saying is they would have done more deals. They should have done their deals earlier. This is not going to stop Bernie Sanders' momentum. It won't stop it. Biden won. I admit, guys, I didn't expect Biden to do as well in South Carolina as he did. That caught me. I expected him to do very well. I expected him to do that well. He exceeded expectations. When you see Jim Clyburn, say what's up to him. Jim Clyburn, he can make black people do anything he wants to do. He just walk in the room and be like, all you black people, right now, everybody who's black, kiss the ring. Kiss the ring. He's powerful, man. He's powerful. Black people, throw out all of your silverware. Right now, throw out all your silverware. Joe Biden's a good man. Throw out all your silverware. Throw it out. Just throw it out the window. Why are we throwing out our silverware? Jim Clyburn said throw out our silverware. Okay. Well, if you say so, what we going to eat with? You're going to eat with your hands, and you're going to eat with faith in Joe Biden because he's a good man. Peas are going to be hard to eat. It's going to be hard to eat rice with my hands. I can't eat rice with. It's going to be hard to eat the collard greens without a fork. Okay. Jim Clyburn said. So, somewhere right now, Bakari Sellers is smiling. Where's Kamala Harris? Is Kamala Harris going to come out for Joe Biden? I think she is. The guy she said was a segregationist. She's gonna turn. Well, he's a segregationist, but what the hell? He's better than Bernie Sanders, what stupid old healthcare thing he wants to do. That she is supported up until she realized maybe she'd have to stick to it. Up until they started asking questions about it. She's like, oh, God, I can't answer any questions. We got the updated information, guys. Any updates of information? Tony, if I tell you what's it won't happen. Andrea Rosario Gabore, my friend, she's been with me for so long. Thank you for the donation, to support. Maker of things. The good news is that we win by default. We have the right to demand an answer to Biden's neurological impairment, which might be Alzheimer's. Okay. This is our atom bomb for the establishment, Johnson. So let's hammer that here on. I'm not hammering that. We need a medical diagnosis for that, Johnson. Something wrong with him. He got established-itis. He's got establishment-itis and lie-itis and plagiarism-itis. Saul Alanus. Thank you, Saul. Ben Riley. Tony, if I tell you what's going to happen, it won't happen. Sean Graham, do we have any idea what states Bernie needs to prevent a contested convention? Can we take it outright like that? I don't know what states he needs to win to avoid that. I really don't. I would suggest Florida. That's why they were working overtime with the whole Castro thing. With with Bernie Sanders saying almost exactly the same thing Obama said, and still corporate media making it sound like he's the most radical person in the planet, but they didn't frame Obama that way. I mean, it was exactly the same comment almost. Like, exactly the same. And we have these shields coming out, and that's why they did it, because they know they want to stop Bernie from winning in Florida. There are people actually protesting Bernie saying the same thing Obama said about Cuba, about Castro. But now there's a protest. It wasn't a protest when Obama said it. But no, and so since independent media is not strong enough, it's not strong enough to get the word out. They have done their best to overtake YouTube and Facebook establishment. So people actually forget reality. They forget reality. But I know that Florida will be part of it. Michigan, I expect Bernie to win Michigan too, but that's later. Van Cohen, Tim, nice timing on Kolobi and Buttigieg, but not Warren dropping out. Guess they couldn't days ago. Not a Bernie guy, but I hate neoliberals more than Dems, Dem socialists. Well, that's good. I'm glad you don't like neoliberals. I don't like them either, Johnson. They think the market will take care of everything. Market takes care of corporations who think strategically and who put earnings above most all things other. So that's not good for people, because people aren't corporations. People need healthcare. People need schools that work and they give back, that don't have over 40, 30, 35, 40 students in them at a time. And we need stuff. And it's okay to want that. It's okay to live in the richest country in the world and want your kids to be in a classroom where everyone gets to learn instead of just being warehoused. It's okay to want that. So I'm preaching to the choir. I know you guys already know that. I'm aware that you know that. But I just wanted to pop in, guys, and just tell you it's going to be a long ride. I'm going to be back later on tonight with more information as we get closer, as more returns come in. California and Texas. We're keeping our eyes on California and Texas. We want to see if Elizabeth Warren is viable anywhere. Let's see if she's viable. Let's see if Michael Bloomberg, all the money that Michael Bloomberg spent, let's see what it gets him. Let's see what hundreds of millions of dollars gets you. I know it makes him annoying. Look, Michael Bloomberg ran a lot of ads in Virginia. a lot of ads in Virginia. He doesn't look like he's even going to be viable there, meaning he won't reach the 15% mark in order to acquire delegates. But we're going to see, because a lot of the results aren't all the way in yet. So I can't tell you. But what I had to tell you is that you cannot let yourselves be dispirited. You can't allow them to punch you in the stomach and knock the wind out of you, because that's what they want to do. They want to focus on Joe Biden's strengths, but not his weaknesses. They want to focus on Bernie's weaknesses, but not his strengths. This is strategic. This is intentional. This is not by accident. It didn't just happen that way. This is what they want to do. They want other voters who haven't voted yet, who are going to vote next week, to be dispirited. Now, and maybe they'll be able to lower the voter turnout. And also, guys, they just want to keep the drama going. They want to keep the confrontation going. They want to build it up. But once again, everyone expects, here's what we expect. We expect Joe Biden to carry Arkansas and Alabama. We expect Joe Biden to carry North Carolina, Tennessee, and Virginia. We expect that. American Samoa. Oh my God, looks like Bloomberg man taking American Samoa. Last time I checked. Looks like that'll probably be it if he gets that. Okay? But first and second place, if both first and second place belong to Joe Biden and belong to Bernie Sanders, but Bernie takes more of Texas and more of California, Bernie will emerge the front runner. It's just math, Johnson. So that's what I'm banking on, guys. Bernie Sanders, California, Colorado, Maine, Massachusetts, Minnesota, Texas, Utah. These are the states that I believe Bernie will take. So let's see what happens, Johnson. I got nothing but love for you. I'll keep you up to date. I'll be back later. This is just a brief interjection into the mainstream of and to cut into. I'm sort of cutting in on your dance with the corporate media or cable news media. I want to cut in because I see cable news media isn't being a good dance partner. So I want to jump in here and keep it real, Johnson, and tell you what to focus on so people, just a brief wellness check. That's all it is. It's a friendly, neighborly wellness check. Your neighbors wanted me to stop by and make sure you're okay. You okay? You all right? Okay. You're not feeling a little, you all right? Okay. You're good, right? Okay. Let's make sure you're good. Everybody okay in there? All right. Just making sure, because they will deplete your inspiration and your motivation. All right. Last but not least, guys, with 25-cent reporting, Bernie props in Texas, 90% yes for all, 10 and Bernie winning. Texas, we're doing well in Texas. That's what matters. Thank you, Ebony Fry. Larry the Truth, what'd you say, Larry? What say you, Larry? I can't see Larry's comment, guys. What did Larry say? Boop, 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 boop. Larry the Truth says, okay. I don't think he said anything. But anyway, that's it, guys. I'll see you soon. Come back here for more updates, and I'll keep you up to date when we get more, okay? I'll be back later on. Thank you. By popular demand, Johnson is here. I have new Johnson designs in my shop. If you want to pick them up, check them out. They are hilarious, they are revolutionary, and they're all Johnson. You're going to love them, man. Check them out. Both Parties Suck, Johnson. It's one of my favorites. Independent media only, Johnson. Keep it real. We are all Johnson. We are. We're one big community, guys. Go check it out. Independent media only. Johnson's in the house. Both Parties Suck, Johnson. We are here. They got a special going on right now. Free shipping. Get it today. Wolfpack. If you want political commentary that is real, insightful, honest, true, Bernie, progressive, you need to come to my channel today, subscribe, and you will get that. I'm Tim Black. I support you. I got your back. We are the voice of the people. Feel the burn. See you there. Johnson.